kind of a way I know that you actually know me too,
Yeah.
like in real life.
Okay.
But if you just call me CannaBear, obviously you know me off the Instagram.
Yeah.
Right
So-
on, right on. Okay, there you go. That's a nice little introduction. So, what is your industry? What do you do? You know, because this the industry we're going to talk about is obviously very big now, and there's many different. I don't want to say positions, but yeah,
Little
but-
categories and shit.
yeah. But tell us a little bit about
So-
what do you do?
So right now I'm in the little niche of the professional hand rolling side of
Yeah.
things. Right now I work with Original Dunks. We specialize in premium hand rolled hash holes. And,
Okay, okay.
So yeah, I'm in that side of the industry right now, just rolling up every day, trying to get that fire out to the people. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I've been
Definitely
with-
Dunks be doing that. Like
Oh.
they've been winning competitions and everything.
Right, they got first place at the very first National Hash Hole Day down in LA in 2023, I think it
Okay.
was. But they had like a Z on Z combo that was just crazy,
Wow,
crazy
wow,
fire. Like,
okay.
The flavors on that and just the quality of the rolls. I think it was Bruno Rolls at the time that was doing the rolls for Dunks.
Okay.
At that moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother. My bad, my bad.
That like doing that. When did it come into like for it to be that important to be recognized as like how you're saying the roller or the right because you're talking about rolling, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what I basically started off. Well, if you want to start like my full history of cannabis, we can do that.
Let's start from the beginning. When you were a cub.
Yeah, or how even what the first time you got high.
Yeah,
you tell us.
let's start there. Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't as young as everybody, as most people that hang out with. Everybody's like, oh, I started smoking when I was 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't like, that's crazy
But
to me.
For me, it was literally like end of high school, my 18th birthday type shit. I originally it started off medically smoking because I had some medical issues I was dealing with, like chronic nausea and
Okay.
like public anxiety
Yeah.
was crazy hard for me to deal with, like just being around people in general.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, that cannabis obviously helped settle that all and like made it easy for me to interact with people and like really just like vibe with others type of shit.
yeah.
So that's where I
Okay.
really first connected with the flower. My very first time smoking though was with my cousin. We were cruising up to a monster truck jam up in San Francisco.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
like, just
that's
hotboxing
good,
the car all the way up to the
No,
city, you know?
that's what you
My
do,
fucking,
yeah.
my virgin ass fucking
But you still, like-
I should have been smoking like that, but like it was too crazy for me.
Do you remember what you first smoked out of? Was it like a joint, a pipe?
It was this little spoon pipe. My cousin, he always had like on his pocket type of shit. It was like his little travel pipe, like one of those indestructible spoon pipes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
That's old school right there.
Yeah. But that's the way you do it, man. When it's on the under, you're doing it that way. But it's cool that you were going to a monster truck jam, like there in Cal Palace, right?
Yep, exactly, bro.
Yeah.
I was so fucking lit. It was crazy, and, like, I
Did you
just
get
feel it
paranoid?
I wasn't paranoid.
That's dope.
I was just hella lost in all like the vibrations and like the crazy sounds and all.
You were
the
just
colors
riding the
and,
wave.
Like, it was like the perfect event to be stoned at for me. Like it was like the perfect introduction. Type
Yeah,
of shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm glad I didn't get paranoid because like a lot of people deal with that kind of shit. Like especially like having public anxiety. Like, I was glad it didn't like amplify that. It actually settled that out and just like let me chill.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
So I was just like locked in on the trucks, all the colors, the lights, everything. I don't know how many hot dogs and nachos I went through that day.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
My cousin just kept looking over at me like, yeah, this is gone. Because he's like been a seasoned smoker. He's like
mission complete.
He's like 8, 9 years older than me. Type of
Okay,
shit.
so he knew what he was doing too.
He was like leading me in. He's guiding me without fully guiding me type of shit. You know? So,
yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. It's a good experience, because a lot of times either people don't get high, right? And that's because they get too high, where they're like paranoid or they're freaking out or.
I was hella lit, but luckily nothing crazy. But I like but for real, I was lit.
The introduction to smoking. That's a 18 or 20 years old is the from my experience. That's like a common thing. It's not like when you start smoking younger. It's not. You know how some people, I've been smoking since I was 10, 9. That's not as common as we think.
Right?
Honestly.
It just, I feel like in the, because I hang out with like the black market, the traditional market kind of people.
Okay.
And those kind of people tend to be more like they want to brag about how young they started. Type
It's
of
like,
shit.
yo, I was fucking barely born and drinking my milk with fucking weed. Yo, chill, dude. You're just a child.
Like my breast milk was infused.
Yeah. My mom smoked and fucking put in the breast milk infusion.
How we doing back there?
What's up? What's up? You got talking to Mike, my brother.
Yeah. We're chilling.
Yo, we got.
I was gonna say too. So it was a good experience your first time high. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was
I've
it was a
seen
very
that.
positive experience.
I've heard a couple people say they had to smoke 3 or 4 times to get high. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's a good experience, especially with the monster trucks and everything. I think.
How about you, John? How old were you when you first smoked? And what did you first smoke out of?
Well, the first time I ever did anything like cannabis was I think I was like 18, 19. It's just after high school. I was with a bunch of homies at his house. His parents left for the weekend. It was a bunch of homies and I. We did the Plus gummies.
Okay.
And at the time, they were 200 milligrams.
Oh,
so,
shit. Medical days, right?
Yeah, this is before. Yeah.
15 days.
So
I missed those days.
I was like I was a soccer player too in high school and in college. So I didn't do any smoking until I was 21. But the edible story, that shit, it was like 5 milligrams, and I thought I broke my friend's fridge, bro.
And you just closed it?
Yeah, dude, there was it's because like I went to go get like a water or something, and then I opened the fridge. It was this really big red thing, and I just pulled it hard and it just came off. I was like crying with the homie, like, bro, I broke your fridge, bro. But,
I'm not gonna lie, if you know John, he was for real stressing and thought he broke it.
Yeah,
like if you know him, you already know.
Definitely a stressor. But then first time smoking was homies and Riverside. It was like a blunt as well.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely think vaporizing is like my favorite way of smoking.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Because what's that device that you be using? I have one too, but you're like the expert on it. The Venti and which other one?
I was showing the microphone. Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Stores in Bickle. They have a device called the Venti. That's their newest one, and they have one called the Mighty
Venti.
Plus, and that one's a herb vaporizers. And that's Johnny's like favorite way to smoke. Every time I see him, he's like, "Yo, you want a couple rips off that?" And right now, I'm kind of stuck on that too. I've been telling him like, "Yo, dude, like this freaking Mighty Plus, like the terps you get off of it, because it's like putting flour in the oven, and it's like when you put your food in there, it just gets nice and flavorful and juicy. Yeah. It's just slow roast. It's so delicious. So definitely shout out to Stores in Bickle. The homie Rudy, you know, we all know the compa Rudy with Stores in Bickle.
Yeah, you hooked us up that day, man.
Yeah. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Like all these devices.
Did he hit that device? Oh, no, he hit the pivot.
Oh no, you hit the pivot.
The pivot, it felt like it's Star Wars, man. Like with the pivot, the Galaxy.
We got some flour. But it's just a little herb.
It's like a mini volcano, basically. But yeah, we'll let you hit that right now.
Travel.
Okay. So yeah, all right. So that was your first time.
So that was my first time ever experiencing cannabis personally. Like I'd been around it with my cousin, but I'd never had smoked it until then.
Yeah.
And so that was my first experience. From then, I really obviously I fell in love with the plant immediately. Like, what's there not to love?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just an overall great experience. So I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm game. Like, I'm down to see how long this, how long I can ride this little train, you know?
And now you've turned it into where you're able to make money from it.
Yep.
You turned what you love into some money.
Into a full-time position, yep.
So how long have you been doing that?
It took a little time to get to that. But my first job was I actually was doing some blogging for a website called HailMaryJane.com.
I think I've heard of it.
They've been like acquired by some other company since I've worked with them.
Okay.
So they've totally like revamped their whole website. But it used to just be like a culture site, just like we had like a bong of the day type of shit.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
strain reviews, shit, and just
yeah, when I first met you, that you were always like, I'm gonna do a review on this and everything. Yeah.
I was always doing like product showcases. I was like, that was my first real like step into like the industry, I guess, is doing some product showcases.
But what's good about your reviews and about you is you actually like test all the, like some people smoke, you know what I mean, but they'll smoke a little bit and just be like say their thing. You actually like make sure that product is what it is and go into depth and detail what you felt about it, and you like I've read some of your stuff, like the way you describe it, like you could tell you're just not some Joe Schmo just writing like whatever people, usually do, and they just mix up the words,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
like that.
But
that
you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
I like to think I know what I'm doing here and there every now and again. You know?
well, when you're like, when
well,
it
we
comes
have
to
to.
this stuff, I know what I'm doing.
We kind of have to think that like that, man, because if no one else
honestly,
is
at the end of the day, I've always I don't grow myself, so I never felt like I had the right to really critique somebody's work in that sense, because I don't know all the hard work that really goes into that.
True. Okay.
But what I did feel fair in is just relaying my personal experience with whatever product it is that I'm currently consuming, and so I would just do my best to just fully relay like the visuals through photography and videos. I wouldn't use any like camera tricks, no filters, no nothing to try and hype nothing up. Kept everything as real and clean, as simple as possible. Kept all my opinions super just straight laced, just how it feels, how I felt affected by it, how it tasted to me, how it smelled to me. It might not be your personal terp profile or whatever, but it's
so
smoking. This is the ash color that I'm getting when I'm smoking. So I just kind of went in full like detailed type of shit like that, but I never graded anything.
Yeah.
That was one thing I always try to stay away from, was trying to rank shit or grade shit. Because,
you just gave your opinion on that.
Again, I don't feel like I have the right to critique somebody's work like that if I'm not in the field doing it myself.
Yeah.
And so
I
just feel like that was just the best way I could go about representing other people's product in the most fair, unbiased way possible. And I got a lot of great feedback from that, because people were like, "Oh, bro, I appreciate your positive feedback or your constructive criticism.
Yeah.
I see where like it might have been lacking here, but we got kudos on this type of shit." So it's like they really respect the honesty rather than just me trying to like be the guru type of shit and say, "Oh, my word is final," and like you didn't make the cut or whatever. Like, so I've never been like that. I've always been like trying to just spread positivity and spread,
moving with the humbleness. Because you're not trying to trash anyone. You love the cannabis community and you love the flower. So it's like, like you said, you're going to be totally honest, but it's like everyone has pros and cons. No matter if it's the best 100%. Or whatever, nothing is perfect. And that's what's amazing about the flower.
Yep.
Well, that's a good way you put it, though. I never thought about it in that way. Well, it's funny because so I used to do like beer reviews, and I always felt uncomfortable when it came to ranking it, right? Like, I did it anyways without being thoughtful about it. Like, okay, it's true. I mean, these are bigger companies that are actually, obviously they're getting sales. So what I say is not going to have an impact because of just the following, right? But still, it's just, you're right. If you're not out there, even if it's not good to you, it is going to be good to someone else. Obviously, you made it to the shelf, right?
Exactly. It's being sold. People are buying it.
But no,
so
that's a good way to look at
likes
it.
And so that's the thing. It's like I would just want to make sure people know. Like, again, I never call them reviews. I always call them showcases.
There you go.
Because again,
that's
I'm not grading your product. I'm just
trying to display
it and relaying my personal experience the best way I can.
Yeah, just with a little bit more depth.
It's all about terminology, how you use it, and especially when you're conveying information.
Exactly.
You want to make sure, because it is true, those words are like I think we spoke about this before. Spells, like what you say makes people feel a certain way.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you can't take it back.
And especially in the cannabis industry, like there's a lot of sensitive people out
yeah,
there.
I'm sure.
Any little thing about their product, and it's just instant hate.
And they get hurt so bad, and it's like,
I understand, because you are putting your hard work and your hours and your time and everything
it's
into
a livelihood.
it. So it's like something you're really committed and for somebody to like just offhandedly fucking just trashing shit.
Just
like,
cause
this is just garbage.
It's like
fucking
it's like you're on the list. I'm not on no list.
But I would never ever trash a brand like that. Like, unless they like, there is one brand that I did do like a more, I guess, like negative review.
Yeah.
And it was a pre-roll company. I forget the name off the top of my head, but I used to buy 2 pre-rolls, one to bust open and one to smoke.
Yeah.
And so I would always bust one open, see what the guts look like, see like the quality of the flower.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this particular roll had some random chunk of something. I couldn't even tell. Like, it wasn't a chunk of a seed. It wasn't a chunk of a stem. It was just like
some material
random chunk. And I was like, all right, that's a no-go for me. Like, to have that kind of lack of quality control in your pre-rolls, like that really scares me. Like, do
Yeah.
you really know what's going in that pre-roll?
Yeah, because
And so that was the only time I ever really put anybody kind of like on blast. But for the most part, I've always just been like
just doing,
being honest, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really trying to like suck up to anybody, but I'm also not trying to destroy nobody.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's just your experience.
I'm just out here trying to spread the love and spread the knowledge.
Yeah.
And also, I have a terrible memory, so a lot of times I'll just go back to read like the reviews that I wrote myself, just kind of remind myself of like certain flavor profiles, and effects and shit like that.
Yeah.
Some people out here, like their strain recall is crazy. Like,
really?
Yeah, because I've worked with some rollers that they go through like probably like 50, 60, 70 different strains in a month type of thing, and so they're able to just like recall flavors and terp profiles.
Yeah, because while they're rolling or
like,
just chilling, they're over there smoking, tasting everything.
So that kind of stuff always really impressed me, but I've never had like the brain power to really store that kind of knowledge, because it's like after I'm done smoking it, I'm off. You know, like,
it's so hard.
I'm like, oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
About Pepe's flower, I always get something different. And I'm like, bro, what was this one? Bro, what was this one? This was good. This was good. It's hard to remember everything.
And it's just so hard. Like, people always ask me, they're like, what'd you give me? I'm like, what day did you give it to me? I just go through so much stuff that I'm just like, I don't remember. I'm like, let me taste it. And I still don't remember. I just want to try it again.
The venti is ready.
Oh, the venti.
Venti. It feels like I'm drinking some Starbucks. Venti. Right, you know, the Venti.
Where's the brand from?
So is it ready, or do I have to...
It'll vibrate in like 20 seconds. You'll feel it.
Where's Stores and Bickle from?
So Stores and Bickle is from, they're from Germany, but they just linked up with this big brand called CannaBear USA. And fun fact, CannaBear USA owns, I forgot how many percentage, but Jetty. They own Jetty as well. So Stores and Bickle, Jetty. There's another brand called Wana. They had edibles here for a while, but they moved from California. And I think there's another brand as well. But yeah, it's just Stores and Bickle's making their way a lot more here in the States. They've been around since, what, like 95?
Forever. Yeah, they created the Volcano. And then they have a bunch of these, like, smaller handheld ones that have just been killing. The Volcano's always just been, like, just in its own category,
Oh, bro, easy spilling.
No, I like this.
Oh, yeah.
You can really taste it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get the full terps.
Yeah.
If you like,
Oh, yeah, I just took a little... Oh. And with this one, it has a whole bunch of different features and shit. So this one gives you like a little adjustable, so the airflow, right?
Yeah.
So and this homie John has it all the way. So that's
It's
the thing.
good,
you
man.
a little bit low, like halfway. That way, it's more of like for airflow and for taste. The first couple rips are for taste and for airflow.
Yeah.
But
Here you go, brother. This shit rips.
Yeah, that tastes really good. I was like, surprised.
In Spain, like you can't like, or in Europe in general, you can't really be smoking out and about. So having this thing just on the go everywhere, just I want a bowl now, just
because it doesn't give you that scent, right? I mean,
it
the
doesn't
burn
smell
scent.
and people think that you're smoking on like a telephone or like
some other shit. It's like, why does this guy still have a '90s fucking phone?
No, wait, that's a stoner fucking comment right there. He's like you're smoking when you said a cell phone. It's like, but why would you be smoking a cell phone?
It's like when the cops pass by, he's like, hello? Yeah, sorry, just my mom. He's like, hey, your phone's smoking, sorry.
But it's cool. It's cool. I like the design of it, and then just even with the little LED display, it's just cool. And it tastes good and it hits good.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it does. So.
Yeah. So sorry to cut you guys off right there. Carlos,
Yes, sir.
is that a hash hole?
You know it. Basically, all I smoke nowadays is a hash hole.
Oh, this cool guy.
It's my preferred way of smoking.
So what we're smoking is, or what you're lighting up right now is a hash hole, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Easy, is this your first hash hole?
Yes. So what's a hash hole? Explain
Go
to
for
me
it,
what's a
Carlos.
hash hole.
Exactly. That's why I was like, best person to explain.
Yeah, well,
Carlos.
you know what a flower roll is, obviously, right?
A flower roll?
Flower roll,
that's,
just
plain
old joint with some flour in it, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
So with a hash roll, you'll set it up like you would your regular roll, but then we got some hash over here. Usually, you want something that's nice and stable at room temperature, so you can work with it with your hands a little bit.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't want to get like all over your fingers and whatnot. Okay. Typically, I'm working with gloves, so everything's nice and clean.
Okay.
But what you do is you roll up a little worm with the hash, and then you lay it down in the middle of the bed of flour.
Okay.
And then you just roll. You do your little roll
Roll
around,
in. Okay.
and then light it up. Let the cherry build up. You want to smoke it more like a cigar rather than like a regular joint. Because
Okay.
if you start smoking it too fast, the cherry will get too hot. It'll start clogging up on you, jamming up on you, type of thing.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, there's like a lot of like techniques and things that go into
Yeah.
like smoking. Well, even just flower joints in general, there's like a whole etiquette to it. But even more when it comes to hash holes, like it's just like literally there'll be people will get pissed if you like the way you like hit it or just
Yeah.
the way you light it. There's just and like people will tell you I'm super chill about it. Like we don't give a fuck. But like there's like
I'm definitely more laid back about people mistreating my rolls.
Yeah.
I might call you out if you're really doing some fuckery.
but there is
For the most part, I'll let you slide. And like, all right, I'll let that one
You're
slide. And
like-
it's more like a lesson learned in like who I'm gonna smoke with.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know how to smoke a hash roll properly, that'll probably be the last hash I roll for you, type of thing.
Okay.
I'll roll your own little personal roll.
Yeah.
Or like if you're like the homie, then I'll take the moment to like teach you how to smoke it. But
Man, you're making
for
me
the most
nervous
part-
over here. I'm like, I'm all nervous trying to hit it. Like, I should have hit it now.
no, it's
But
just
yeah, I
like
know,
nice-
I know.
yeah, no,
you just want to take
easy
like a
to
nice steady hit. You don't want to hit it like more like a high school joint. You got some people like.
we
Oh, no,
like,
I don't do that.
you
I don't do
be
that.
doing
I don't
that
have the
kind of
lungs
thing
for
with
that.
hash roll,
Honestly, I don't have the lungs
well,
for that.
we did have a culprit that we ended up naming John Wick. We won't.
We'll keep his alias
Yeah,
as John Wick.
yeah.
I,
John
I
Wick.
heard about him last time too. So John
Yeah.
Wick, you must be popular.
He's
keep being
popular
brought up.
in the joint rolling community.
And it's not that John Wick
No.
that you
Yeah.
guys are thinking. It's
It's
another
not,
John
But
Wick.
he's
it's not
de-
where
he's
my
de-
dog at, John Wick.
Yeah. He's definitely a joint killer for sure. But it's just like these cool little things where, like, especially with Carlos right here, like, there's little jokes like where we're out and about that we're just like, we just don't even have to say anything. We just look at each other and we're just like, fuck. Like, this guy's just messing up the whole thing. And like I said, it's just like a whole etiquette to, like, smoking hash holes and shit. And just, it comes with, like, a lot of rosin is just fucking expensive as hell. Like, some rosins, and flour, of course. This is actually burning super nice.
It's
Bar
good,
this shit,
yeah.
Carlos. Bars.
Yeah,
you
it's
go, my
good,
brother.
man. I
John,
like
you want
that
it?
tip too, man.
John.
My name is John Wick, though.
No. That's
But yeah, so then with hash rolls, typically I like to try and put my worm down probably about like a quarter-inch from the top, so you can establish a nice cherry first.
Yeah.
And then it'll slowly start to melt into the roll as you're.
So you put
as
the
you're
flour
smoking it.
first, then right, because you don't want to put it on the paper itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, well, so what kind
But
of
I
paper?
mean, you can put there are people who will like
Put it on the.
put like a distillator, like a more
Yeah.
liquidy type
Oh,
of.
yeah.
extract.
live
I've
resin,
seen that.
terp
Yeah.
sauce.
Like they'll kind of paint it on the paper before
Yeah,
rolling or something
okay.
like that. So
Paint it,
that's
okay.
also another way to do like an infused roll.
The other question I had that what kind of papers do you use? Because that's a I like asking that question because no one like there's not really a popularity of or a popular paper, so that's why I asked like what's the type of paper you like to have?
So I personally am a big fan of OCBs.
Okay.
I'm not like super picky on what papers I use.
Okay.
I'm not like one of those snobs who's like, oh, I could taste the difference
Yeah.
between this paper, this paper, and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
paper.
yeah.
Like, I mean, you could always taste the difference between a zigzag and like any other paper because
Yeah.
zigzag's basically freaking it's cardboard.
Yeah, it's like that's basically a cigarette paper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
what makes
use zigzag, but the hemp one,
the
the green one.
I still might look at you sideways.
because those are just like a thicker paper.
Yeah, it's just a
you
really
know?
thick paper, and so
Yeah.
my eyes, those are the papers that I do taste.
Okay,
But
I
like
see.
Element, an
see.
OCD, a raw black.
Yeah.
I don't mind any
I've
of
I've
those.
tried all of them, and the biggest issue that I had, well, most of them that I could, even in Europe when I went up there in Amsterdam, I tried a lot of their papers. There's a little better, but for some reason zigzag is the only one that it's not so much for the taste. It's more because it sticks nice. The gum that they use on it, it really like seals the joint, especially when you put in the tip or something, it really you get that
You get
nice
that seal.
tug on there
Right.
because it's a little the paper's a little stronger, so
Right,
you
right.
kind of
So yeah, you can
can tug it a
put
little bit
more tension
pressure.
on
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
tension.
I feel like with the zigzag, I do taste that gum a little bit.
You know what?
It reminds me of like when I'm licking an envelope.
And you know what? That you're right because that's how I started smoking weed. When I think my mom used to smoke, so I got with her roaches and then it was the zigzags, right? Because back then it was
Yeah.
nothing but zigzags.
Right.
And so as I grew
Well,
older,
I mean that's the gas station paper right
yeah, exactly,
there. Like,
yeah, and
every gas station's got those. without
exactly,
fail.
yeah, man. So then Dr. Dre came out with that. So it's more of like I'm a fan of Zigzag because it's been around. I even had it in my room,
That's like
poster
the
and all
biggest
that.
brand
The biggest-
besides Raw.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
But-
that's like everybody's starter paper.
Yeah,
in my
exactly.
Opinion. Like
But
that's,
I-
that's the
Exactly.
brand when you first starting to
Started,
smoke.
yeah.
You're introduced to zigzags off the bat. But then as you get into like the more I guess connoisseur level or whatever, people start leaning towards like elements or
Yeah, I've tried the Elements are good.
OCBs nowadays are really popular.
I'm gonna try
amongst
them again.
rollers.
I'm gonna try them because it has been getting kind of harsh towards the end of my joints. I could tell towards the end it gets a little too harsh, but with you, I think the stuff you roll with, I don't feel the same way. I mean, obviously we smoked it to the.
Yeah,
last time around,
Since
right, we
me and
smoked it.
Easy linked up. We stay smoking now. We stay doing something, eating, smoking, and just over here talking on the show.
Yeah, this tastes really good.
And then another thing with the hash roll is you want the ash to fall off naturally.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to purposely ash it because the ash will help regulate the heat on the cherry. It'll help keep it a little bit cooler, and also help with the airflow from getting it too hot. Again, it's all about keeping that right kind of temperature. So
Okay.
Because if you melt the rosin too fast and it just like goops up and melts all into that little section, then it locks up on you. Or if it's not melting fast enough, then it does the same. It'll lock up on you too because it's not melting. And so you gotta kind of find that happy medium. Just kind of keep it
That balance,
flowing.
yeah.
Well, it's
So
like just like drinking a coffee. You enjoy it.
it's
Don't
Oh, yeah.
exactly. It's
don't just go
100%.
through it. Yeah,
It's 100% a joint that you sit back, relax. It's not
like
something you're trying to rush
cognac
through.
or something like that. You know,
Yeah,
when you're
if
drinking.
you
cognac.
only got 5 minutes, you're not going to want as light of a hash roll. You need 30, 45 minutes minimum typically for a hash roll.
Yeah, that's nice.
And
That's nice.
that's why I like to say you want to treat it more like a cigar because you're trying to just like experience the flavors as well as the high.
So something like that, obviously they don't. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say that because I don't know. Is that something that you could purchase at the store, already pre-rolled and made?
Yep, absolutely. And that's actually what the company I work for right now, Original
doing?
Dunks. We specialize in hand rolled hash rolls that are commercially available in dispensaries.
Yeah, and those are super flavorful too.
We're available in a bunch of dispensaries up here in NorCal and as well as down in SoCal.
Are they inexpensive or more on the?
They're in the higher quality.
They range, I would say, anywhere between, typically in stores, anywhere between like 50 and 65.
Okay, so like a.
Because it is more like I said, it is more of a connoisseur type of thing.
Yeah.
And we are using premium products like premium rosin. We're using premium flour. We're not using like shake or.
And they like legit go through each nug, pull out the stem, everything, and make sure you're just getting the full flower. Why? And how do I know this? Because I've seen this dude send videos of all the stuff he's doing, and
that's definitely the most tedious part of the hash roll process.
Because you guys go through pounds, like you guys go through flavors and everything, and not just the flour. He has to weigh out each thing of rosin, right? Each little individually weigh out each one. It's usually like how much, like point what?
So with dunks, we typically every drop we do, we like to try and do a 6 flavor drop, which means we'll have 6 different flowers and 6 different rosins that we've paired up together to provide the customer with 6 different hash rolls. And so we end up going. We typically, not to give away too many trade secrets or anything, but our ratio is a 1.5 by 0.5. So you get 1.5 of flour and a 0.5 of rosin with every roll.
Okay.
So you're getting a good amount of
rosin
product.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like some little skimpy roll or anything like that. And that tends to be like a normal ratio right now for hash rolls. It's either like a 1.5 by 5 or like a 2 gram by 0.5 is typically like the go-to ratios.
Okay.
And
okay.
the one thing that we kind of like to pride ourselves on a little bit is the fact that we have a cone shape to our rolls, so it's a little bit visually different than other people's rolls.
Okay.
It'll stand out a little bit more than like I like to bar mine shit out because it's just easier.
Yeah. What is that? What would you say? Bar it out.
Bar it out.
Like
So
more
it's
like
more like
even?
a straight.
Okay.
It's like a cigarette style roll.
Okay.
So where it's just like straight.
And the
People
other
tend to
one's
call
more
those
like
bars.
Cone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
All
so
right.
with dunks, we roll a cone style, and so it has a kind of a different kind of flow to it.
Yeah, I actually that's how I've been rolling my joints lately, like a cone style. I mean, I've done them all because that's my preference. I like to smoke first as a joint. Backwoods, I like them. They're okay. You know, I can smoke them, but so with paper, I've learned how to roll. And then, of course, grinding it made it a lot easier. But back in the day, it was, breaking it apart by the hand.
Fingers.
It's
Well, the other day, you were in the
Yeah,
competition
yeah.
and you showed up. They had them, shout out Jimmy Devine. Or they were over there at, what's the place
The
called?
Ashby Social Club.
The Ashby Social Club. So shout out to them because they got a super dope venue over there in Berkeley.
Yeah.
But they had a speed rolling competition, and one of the things was that you had to hand break the flour down. So that was interesting for everyone. But
I was not expecting that. Yeah, as part of the rules.
They made it a little harder.
I don't break down ever with my fingers.
And the other
Ever.
thing that I noticed right away, once that you didn't notice, the slims.
And that's another thing. I don't roll slims.
Yeah, and see that all makes a difference too. And
What do you mean the slim, like a slim joint?
paper.
King size slim papers.
Yeah,
I'm used to rolling with the king size wide. So you got a little extra paper to work with.
So you had the single? It was
But it was one of the slims.
Oh, the slims.
So
Yeah.
so in the normal world of people, they use the regular king size, but see those are the slims. Those are smaller ones. But in the stoner world, we use the king size wides. So those are a little bit wider.
Yeah.
It's still
To
the
make it
same
fatter.
length, but it's wider, so you're able to fit in more paper. What the other more paper? Sorry, more flour, or whatever
Yeah.
material you use. So
Like with
if
a
you're not,
slim, you could maybe fit like 2 grams.
yeah, like 2
but
grams.
With a wide, you could easily do an eighth.
An eighth, 4 if you're a savage. But with the slim, like 2 grams. And if you're not used to that extra paper, even though it's not a lot, it makes such a difference.
yeah, it's that extra, what do you call it? Tension.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
extra.
And that curveball with the hand,
Having to break it up by hand was
Yeah.
definitely another curveball too.
it was cool though. Shout out to, you, Lucas, what's your other homie that works at Dunn's?
Yeah, jaw rolls.
Yeah, shout out to Jaw Rolls too. They all participated. Shout out to Ed, he showed up too. Johnny missed that day. John's always working, so he's always doing something though.
Yes, that event was at the church we went to for New Year's.
Yeah, for New Year's.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so
popping there now, huh?
yeah. Do you guys want to talk about it's funny that I have you guys here. Do you guys want to talk about New Year's? Like that was fun for me.
You and Johnny were too lit off those edibles.
Dude,
For sure, I told him, and we've talked about this story here a couple times, where I was in the car and I was like, yo, I'm fucking done. I'm tweaking. These guys are over here smoking another hash roll or something. I'm like, I'm
sparking up
done.
the hash roll. He's like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I don't think I could smoke that.
And I never tap out, but I had to tap out. And then they did a couple more rotations, and then I ended up still smoking again. And they were laughing at me. They're like, you're smoking again. But I was lit.
Those vegan gummies, man.
Those vegan gummies were fire. Yeah, I love
Vegan
that place.
gummies. That's funny. I mean,
That was like a sister brand of Dunks, Carl?
Well, yeah, we have a gummy guy that comes in every now and
A
again.
gummy guy.
And he he rents out part of the facility to do his little gummy brand. I think it's called Erva, ERVA. So he's working on that as a little side project. I don't know.
Well,
that
shout out to him because those gummies
Yeah.
were fire. Me and
Oh, yeah,
Johnny
he
were
makes-
going
he
like
makes some fire
we're going gummy
gummies,
for
some
gummy on that one.
fire caramels. I don't know that they're commercially available yet. He's still in the process of like getting all
R&D.
that worked out. But he makes some crazy.
Do you
crazy
think it's at the? Sorry. Do you
Oh, it's
think
for sure at the actual.
to show it to Easy? Do you mind if we ash it?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. Hey, you got
Yeah.
that?
so with that, you have to smoke it all. at one time.
The hash? No, you don't. Like, there's a lot of people who just like smoke like a third of it and put it out.
Okay.
But
And
it'll
then relight
definitely
it.
alter the
Yeah, that's what I
flavor.
say. It's like a cigar, right?
Exactly.
Once you relight it,
It's
just
definitely not something that like you want to make a norm, but there's not a lot of people who can handle a hash roll all the way to the face. So it's understandable that they got to put it out. So it's generally recommended if you're not a hash roll smoker typically
Hit it and
that you want to smoke with like a couple of friends of yours because otherwise it's going to be a waste.
How many do you smoke a day, would you say, Carlos?
Well, I always roll one for the morning commute, roll one for the commute back home. Typically, we'll have one for the lunch break. Depending on where we are in production, if we're R&D in flavors, could be upwards as like 6, 7, 8 during the afternoon.
and different flavors too.
Yeah, depending on like what, because we go real far with R&D, like to the point of like how many grinds we do on the flour, like if it's like
How many
a
grinds?
like a 2 grind cycle or a 3 grind cycle, because if we want, because depending on how fine the flour is affects the overall smoking experience.
okay.
And we like to try and maximize the flavor and the just the overall smoothness of everything.
Okay.
So we go in depth with our R&D, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
like
It
to
sounds
make
like
sure
it.
that
Sounds
And
like
that-
it.
with
and
each
that-
strain, if it's we'll grind it through. We'll do a sample of each grind size.
Wow. So it's a
And
whole.
then find out which ones we prefer out of those 3 grind sizes, and we'll run with that. And so that's one of the little steps, the extra steps that we like to take in our R&D, so that we're getting the best quality product out to the customer that we can.
Yeah, and that's a whole science into itself. The
Yeah.
grinder, you know,
Some production.
especially over here, my brother. A grinder like that is like not even of your. It's just for personal, but there's a what do you use a production grinder. That's a term that you said that I just like. I'm like that's the best description. You know, there's a difference in a grinder. That you're just, you know, a regular smoker, and there's a difference between a production grinder for someone that's, you know, rolling hash holes or just a bunch of joints or just, you know, whatever you're grinding up for. But that makes such a difference. And I know you have a specific grinder that you like that I also agree is probably the best grinder in the world. I tried to show you one time what I thought was the best grinder. I tried to show him a grinder that I had, and I thought in my head the best grinder in the world. And then he showed me his, and I tried to show him mine. I'm like, oh, look, check it out. The first time I turned it, it's like, skrrr, but like horrible. And he just looked at me, and we just laughed. I'm like, man, fuck this grinder. I'm like, never mind. And then he introduced me to his grinder. I always forget the name of the brand. What's the name of that grinder, bro?
It's called a Brilliant Cut grinder.
A Brilliant
Brilliant
Cut
Cut
grinder.
That's the brand.
Yeah,
Yes.
Brilliant Cut.
Okay.
And it's a 3-piece magnetic grinder.
Nice.
So like, there's not hella pieces to lose.
Yeah.
This middle plate, they got 3 different sizes you can get. So you can get a fine, a medium, or a coarse. I typically rock with the medium. 'Cause it's
Okay.
nice even grind.
Okay.
Not too coarse, not too fine for me.
I use Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz is
That's a
another
good one,
is
too.
another
Okay.
great-
Okay. I'm over
is
here.
another
I'm over
great,
here.
I would, in my opinion, I would rank that probably as like the second.
Okay.
Like my
Yeah, that's
second,
pretty good.
like a backup grinder.
This
And
one's
then-
just like a notch being
So
scienced
I think
out.
I've
this
come
one's
across
just-
it. It's a
Yeah.
little more pricier too, right?
Yeah, these
Yeah.
definitely are a bit more pricey,
Yeah.
but I mean, you're
They do
paying
go
for
on sale.
quality.
It's so
And
worth it.
They do go on sale, obviously. Like right now, they're probably on sale for like
420
20%
coming
off,
up,
for
yeah.
420 and all that.
Oh, okay.
But they are a little pricey, but again, they're worth it. I've had this guy for like 3.5 years now, and it's a workhorse. I've put pounds and pounds through this guy.
So what's the etiquette to a grinder?
What
Like,
do you mean?
Like, is there a way to? Obviously, you want to
Just
keep it clean.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like when
absolutely.
you, because I'm sure there's a lot of individuals out there that they have grinders, don't think about it, just keep grinding away. But there's obviously buildup that goes. Is there any tips and tricks that you have to make your grinder work efficiently every single time?
So that's actually one big benefit about this particular grinder too. Is as you're grinding, I don't know what it is with the design, but it like self cleans in a way. So like I've never had issue with like build up or gunk up or it locking up on anything. Like I'll literally put 4 grams in there and just fucking power through
Wow.
it, and then it comes out just as clean as like the day it started, more or less. Unless it's super wet, super fresh flour,
Yeah.
it's not gonna like really cause any issues. So like I I should clean it more often, but because it doesn't really ever
It's
like
The
interesting.
flour just
It-
sticks and sticks,
Well, it's-
picks it up itself.
yeah, so I don't really have to clean it often.
It's
I
the
mean, I clean
shape,
it every
probably.
like 3 months or so just to like see
That's
it,
pretty good
see
to
it
know.
fresh and new.
So
But
that's
like
worth.
I have had other grinders in the past. Like not to say anything against the flour mill, I love it. It's a great grinder. Just not a grinder for me because that one.
That goes back to when I was saying about a production grinder and just like a regular person that's just smoking their thing.
Well,
For
I mean,
that,
a
it's
lot of
chill.
people use the flour mill for production grinding too. It's just I never really got the hang of it because there is a slight technique to using that grinder versus a traditional grinder.
Okay.
Because it's not actually grinding the weed. It's kind of
It's like milling
rolling,
it, yeah.
rolling the
What
weed
is it called
between-
again?
It's called the flour mill.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty
flour,
popular right now amongst rollers.
flour mill. Ain't that too one that they use?
It looks like a
The-
pepper grinder. It's like, you know how the
Yeah,
pepper
it has
mill
blades.
It's not.
s-
It's like ridges. It
Yeah,
has like
they're
ridges.
They're like wavy plates that
Yeah.
kind of just roll the weed essentially, and
Until it
Yeah, it's
breaks
very
down.
interesting.
until it
So,
breaks
so
it
yeah,
down.
so I get the
It's almost supposed to be like mimicking hand breaking.
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
it's breaking it off
Yeah, the
versus
friction
grinding
of
it
it.
off.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But it's still
I mean,
a great
it's a great
grinder.
grinder. I mean, I got nothing ill will or anything towards it. It's just I never really got the hang of that that grinder and the technique of using it properly. And I
Yeah.
would always jam it up and always have to clean
And then
it
you couldn't
after,
pull it off, and then you're like, it's like I want to throw it at the floor because but that's just me. Like, my opinion don't really matter, and it's just, But it is a great grinder. But I also was trying to run pounds of grinding it through it, and I
And
couldn't.
again, it's all about technique because I've seen people that have no issue
Yeah,
going
no, some
through their
technique,
pounds. And
technique.
at the end of the day, it is all about like the technique that you end up using. And I'm just used to that whole traditional grinder type of feel with the metal teeth and everything. And like I said, this Brilliant Cut grinder has been a workhorse for me.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I've never once have I locked it up, jammed it up, nothing.
Yeah, that's important
And
sometimes,
like,
man.
it's 3 pieces. I don't do it keef catch because I like all my shit in my roll.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to separate keef for no reason. Like I'm not in high school anymore. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't need
yeah.
to
I'm
be
not gonna
saving
put
that
that
for
on
the
the
rainy
ball.
day or whatever. Like,
You know my problem with that, with having the little screen on the bottom of everything, I like to, well,
I've seen someone grind their weed with that. Have you ever seen someone do that?
do what?
It's like they use that like metal thing, the little.
Oh, the little-
yeah, they
yeah.
like pushed it hard. It didn't do a good job, of course,
Nah,
but like
but
in an
nah.
emergency for the bong, it was sick. I was
No,
like, oh, this fucking
well,
guy.
What I was gonna say is because I usually use when I grind my weed, the little holder, I use it. I don't even use the tray. I try to just within the actual grinder itself. I tilt it,
okay, yeah.
but then all that stuff comes out anyways. And so I was thinking about getting a grinder without it because it's like first more, it's not as bulky because
Right,
you have
yep.
this extra
Yeah.
that
That
it's
extra
not
layer
being
that you're
used.
just
It's
not
just
really
there.
using.
In
Can I
fact,
see that one?
so
I'm
so
like, you're talking about bulky. I'm like, this shit's like, never mind. I thought it was.
It's
a
got
little
some
heavier.
good
What's
weight
that?
to
It has
it,
good
but
weight to it.
it's
I thought it was a
quality
little
built.
heavier.
but I like the
And
fact
it's
that
strong
all it is
magnets.
yeah.
Like
You
I've
know.
dropped that thing hundreds of
magnetic,
times,
it's
and
kinda
like it's crazy
Oh, yeah, the big
how
I
durable
could-
it is.
Yeah.
When he first handed it to me, I couldn't open that shit. So you did a way better job than me.
That's
He's
just
like,
it.
Everybody
he's like,
always
I
tries
can
to
see the
twist it
stoner.
open.
Yeah, I was
Everybody
trying
tries
to
to
do
twist
that
it
shit.
open. Like, how come I can't open your grinder? I'm like, it's magnetic. Just pull it open.
It's nice and
And
clean.
then they look at it
Yeah.
dumb, like, oh. Okay.
I was gonna say, have you guys ever seen the Cubis grinder? I believe it's called as well.
Cubes. Nah, what is that?
It's like it looks like a little cube, but it's kind of the same principle. It's like magnetic and stuff. and, like,
Interesting.
Really?
People like etch it. It's a little bit probably. I think that one's like 150.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not
yeah,
too bad.
grinders are
But no,
Well, that's
And
your
for a
tool. That's your
quality
tool.
grinder, you're
Well,
gonna put some money.
yeah.
down.
It's your
definitely
tool.
not.
And
Like
it's
if,
At
one of
least-
those
at
things
least a
that
couple
you shouldn't
$100
have to
Yeah.
replace too.
I
Like
mean,
if it's a good grinder, you shouldn't have to replace it.
But definitely
Exactly,
the
yeah.
At
one
least
that
for a
is
long,
fire.
long time.
yeah.
Like,
No, yeah. No, but you should. Like when you're a everyday smoker or even a connoisseur, right? If you like to actually doing that, yeah, you need to spend money on all your equipment that you use to get high, because it only makes the experience better, and
it makes my job easier. Like,
yeah.
'cause again, I love the flour mill, but my forearms were just on fire after going through a pound.
Damn,
Trying to
I
grind
bet.
a pound with that versus
I
trying to grind a
bet.
pound with this, like it was night and day for me. And so that's another reason why this one kind of won me over. Is just like
Yeah.
the arm fatigue isn't there
Yeah.
as
Oh,
much.
okay.
But again, it's all about technique. So I
Ah.
probably wasn't using the flour mill properly, and so I was putting too much effort into it maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's all about the tool that works best for you. I feel.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's, when you put it in those terms where, yeah, if you're doing that with big amounts of weed, yeah, I can see it's gonna get shit, especially every day, right? Is this like a daily thing that you would do?
And that's why I call it like more of a production grinder rather than just like a
Yeah.
casual grinder. Because yeah, I do use it casually, like as my travel grinder.
Yeah.
But if I got side projects, that's my grinder.
You don't
yeah,
have
I'm-
nothing electronic. Do they have anything
So-
electronically that you could?
Yeah, we have a big electronic grinder at our warehouse over at Original Dunks.
Okay.
So we're going through pounds after we destem everything and
Yeah.
kind of break down the buds ourselves by hand a little bit. We'll feed it through the grinder, and that's where I said we'll find out if it's a 1 grind, a 2 grind, or a
Yeah.
3 grind.
And
We'll
that
run
matters.
it, and that's how many times we'll run it through the machine grinder.
And why does that matter?
Because that will affect the overall
Terp.
smoothness and the overall flavors that you get as you're smoking, depending on
It's
the
like
quality
like
of the-
say if you don't grind it as well, it'll leave more
Yeah.
gaps throughout the joint or whatever you're
Okay.
smoking.
Yeah.
You'll typically get a darker ash with a coarser grind.
Yeah, and
but
it
you're
won't-
not fully you're not fully combusting the flour.
Yeah.
It's just kind of running through like all the outer layer of the flour
Yeah.
essentially.
So it's fine to run it through that many times.
So we typically
Each
like
one's
the
different.
most we try to go is a 3 grind because that ends up being a fairly fine grind.
Okay.
Anything more than that ends up being too powdery.
Yeah,
and
like
then
too dusty. And
You
you
run
don't
into
want
the
that.
issue of that clogging up on you because it's too fine of a grind and it compacts too tightly in the roll, and that will clog up a roll on you too. So it's again that fine balance of finding the right grind size for the roll and the flour.
Actually,
It's a lot of R&D
I-
that goes into these rolls.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
shit.
it's not just just fucking grind it and throw it in a paper and
Yeah.
like,
It's a
Nah.
whole
It's-
art.
yeah.
It's a science.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of
It's-
variables come into it.
rolling
Well,
has definitely evolved a lot.
It's
It's a craft.
Yeah, it's the other wine, right? That's what it is. It's like wine too. Wine people, I see people drinking wine like out of cups. And it's like no, you can't do that. Like
Yep.
that grape, you
And those are
understand
the
that
people that are
grape.
smoking the cheaters.
Ouch. You got it.
No, I didn't say Jetty. I said Jetty.
We're friends with Jetty. We'll be nice.
We like Jenny,
I love
we
all
like
my
Jenny.
brands,
Yeah.
but I know what you're talking about.
John's over there just chilling.
John is
Nah,
just
dude,
kicking
I'm
back
trying
in
to feel
the.
the hash hole, dude.
Yeah, the hash hole was fire. You barred that shit.
Yeah, I grew up
I
in
feel
that
good,
one.
man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
Like
guys
that.
mind to get another one?
What do you
Another
mean?
hash hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind rolling one up.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, do you mind making a fucking fat ass hash hole?
Yeah, we
Like,
throw
yeah.
I have
that
some,
one in.
Yeah,
I have
hell
some
yeah, right
applicator
on.
as well if you want to, Carlos.
So I have a question, man. When it comes
Absolutely.
to smoking, that I've noticed, maybe because I use back in the day I wouldn't use crutch or a tip,
Yeah.
right? I'm just smoking how it is,
Yeah,
and you would
old
get,
school.
and then you get all that
Residue?
residue, right?
Oh,
But
yeah,
I-
all that resin at the tip.
Yeah, but I've noticed that with the weed I smoke now, it doesn't do that. Is there, or is that normal, or not normal?
To me, it seems like the resin has gone from going to the tip, like the mouth tip, to
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's like
now
in the
the
front.
rosin ring is the thing
That's taking it. Yeah.
It's like that terp ring is no longer getting in your mouth, but it's just kind of surrounding the cherry nowadays. It seems.
Ah, okay.
Like
So
right
it's an
now,
art.
when
It's
we
an
were
art
holding
form. That's why they
upside
use
down-
it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm correct.
No,
My
no,
bad.
no. What happened?
No. I was just saying that that's why it's so important now to use
To use a crutch.
a crutch, because it's not just I used to more of, okay, I have some to hold it. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier. It's a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
And you get
then-
more of the weed. Because the other one you left a good chunk because you had to
yeah,
you had to
and,
hold the
and you
joint,
can't really be
you know.
doing that Cheech and Chong at the
Yeah, that's
corner
what they
store.
invented the
You know,
roach clips, huh?
that roach
Yeah,
clip,
yeah,
yeah.
roach clips.
You know, I don't, like you said, I'm not in high school no more. I don't need to smoke it to that.
Yeah.
But it,
Smoke it to
Your
But-
fucking thumbs
Yeah,
all burning.
yeah,
shit, 'cause you're over there. I remember those days. With
Actually
the grape
suck the whole
switch.
fucking
Yeah,
thing down your throat.
That's happened a few times, man. I'm not gonna lie. You try to hit that last hit, or you find the roach the next day. You know, like you ain't got weed, but you got this roach,
got that roach.
and you try to
Roach
roach it. Yeah. If you
Hell
have a
yeah.
bong, then you're golden, right?
Oh,
You'll
hell
get a
yeah,
nice
toss
ring.
that whole thing in
But
there.
if you don't, I remember I used to invent little crutches,
Yeah,
for the
hell yeah.
outside versus the inside.
Right.
But yeah, it's come a long way, the whole industry. Just the way how, So how do you reference weed, cannabis, mota? What's your
Term?
what's your term you use when you reference
I usually call it flower.
flower?
That seems
Okay.
to be like my most like PG kind of way of just
Okay.
casually talking about it in public.
Flower.
Like,
Okay.
what kind of flower you got on you? What kind of flower you roll?
Yeah.
Call
Okay.
them flower rolls
Yeah.
if they're just regular weed in the roll.
And that's
typically it's flower.
yeah.
And then if it's a hash roll, obviously it's got hash in
Hash,
it.
so it's a
not-
hash hole.
But or I'll also call my rolls doinks. That seems to be a random weird term that's going around lately.
Doinks?
So every now and
Doinks.
again you'll hear me call it a doink. Here's a doink.
But
Okay.
that-
it's
you-
a
But
ter-
that's simply just a flower roll. Again, if it's a hash roll, I'll tell you here's a hash roll.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
it's just a doink, it's just
A little flower
roll.
doink.
Little flower,
A little
okay.
flower doink.
Well, yeah, it's good to tell people the ones
Yeah,
that they're not
it's-
heavy hitters.
Yeah, especially if there's a lot of people that like, they're smoking, and then there's like a difference of like a nice infused joint, like a hash roll. If you give that to someone, like I accidentally gave my friend a super infused joint. I fucking put all the concentrate in the front, and he don't really smoke. And I just lit it. I hit it. And I'm like, oh, here you go. And me not even thinking that he don't even smoke. That fool got anxiety, and he went on a marathon walk that day. You know
He
what I
went on
mean?
a walk?
We were like by Sam's on Broadway, and he walked all the way to like where the Bay Bridge was at. He said he was just on one. I was like, fuck, my bad, dude. and so it just makes such a difference. So you definitely got to let people know. The tolerance is different for everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not everybody
yeah.
smokes like we do, so
Yeah.
you gotta be careful.
I
Yeah,
have a
that's
little dablicator too if you need some
Oh yeah, we
dablicator.
could spice that up.
Yeah,
But
so-
you said
so-
a dab applicator. There's a dab applicator.
Exactly.
Is
yeah.
that-
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah.
Damn, I'm learning a lot today,
Yeah,
man. I
it's
feel old school.
Learning, smoking a lot. Nah, definitely not. There's just so much shit now.
No, what I'm saying it's just everything about just the terminology, the way how it's looked at nowadays. It's actually it's so positive, because there's jobs that are being created.
We
There's
just makes you
devices that
feel
are being
better.
created.
Just deal with everything.
Literally, jobs being created.
definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
And
this
look-
whole rolling position, like I had to more or less like. There's people obviously who've done this before me, like
Yeah.
people who've paved the way, like CGO, Bruno Rolls.
Yeah. Shout out to
Rolls.
CGO. He
A lot of people
got
been doing
Hash
this for a
Island
while.
coming up.
I met him officially at Spanibus. That fool was super chill. He was talking to a lot of other people about flower and everything.
Yeah, he's
I missed all the hash hole events, dude. I need to go. To
CGO's the homie. He's the one that I would say I learned the most from, because he's one guy. He's not about gatekeeping. If you're willing to take the time to learn, he's willing to teach you. And
That's
so
dope.
he's-
That's dope.
He's been one of my, I would say, mentors
Yeah.
in the field of rolling for sure. Like obviously, I've got inspired by Bruno as well. He's another top level roller out there who's been doing it for a long time. Mad respect for him. Both those guys have helped me a lot in the last year or so to get to where I am.
Yeah.
And so, without those two gentlemen in particular, I probably wouldn't be rolling for dunks at this moment.
So it's an art form.
Definitely
It's a-
big shout out to them.
Yeah. Shout out to Bruno
Mhm.
Rolls and
Yeah.
CGO.
CGO lifestyle. Like those
So-
two, those are the homies for sure.
So you hear that? It's saying it right. Like what is it? Professional roller? Is that what it's the title?
Yeah, I like to
Professional
call
roller.
myself a professional hand roller.
There you go, professional
That way
hand roller.
Nobody's thinking I'm like using a machine. Or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one
He's
of
like,
those
these
little-
are the machines.
But see, like when you hear about it, because it's still, where the acceptance of once the feds remove it from the category it's in, that classification in the DEA, controlled substances. Once they do that, it's these jobs are actually going to be jobs that you will need to have some type of formal training, formal, not just training, but like certificate wise and stuff like that. That right now we don't think about it because oh yeah, I didn't know what to expect, right? Like I've never talked to an actual professional hand roller that does this for a living, basically every day.
Yep,
You've
Friday.
seen, and you see.
Saturday and Sunday
Yeah.
sometimes too.
No,
Yeah.
shout out to you, because like when I met you, you were doing something else, and you like literally like grinded your way to get to where you are. You know what I mean? You're like, dude, I just want to roll joints all day, and then little by little, like you made it
yeah,
happen.
you called it. You manifested it.
Yeah.
Is this what you call this a career?
I'm hoping like that's the
That's the
overall
goal?
goal.
Okay.
Is to make this like my money maker, the thing I hopefully one day retire on. Like
Yeah.
that'd be a true dream lived right there.
Okay.
Like,
No, it's gonna
to be
happen.
able to say I could retire myself off of rolling joints is fucking.
It's gonna
crazy.
happen, bro.
And I think it's
Yeah.
it's a real thing. We just gotta get federally legal, and then just.
That's gonna
like,
happen.
The gates are gonna flood. Like it's already, especially here in NorCal, definitely in the Sacramento area, the rolling community is really
Yeah.
strong and thriving.
Yeah.
A lot of traditional market rolls are out there right
Starting
now.
out, yeah.
And they're slowly starting to get recognition and building brands that are now creeping into dispos now. And so
Yeah, yeah.
you'll start to see a slow creep insurgence of more and
Yeah.
more hash rolls, I think, in the next year or so. Just with how popular they're slowly becoming, more and more people are learning what a hash roll is.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just going to open up the gates for more people to really get into this particular side of the industry.
Yeah.
And
And
so-
get behind it. Yeah. Well, I know higher education institutes are actually here in the United States are now allowed to test on it and use and the flower itself and cannabis. So that becoming fully legal is going to happen pretty soon. So and then you're ahead of that game because you're
Right.
already doing it. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to happen for you because you're doing the legwork now. Then later on. But you were going to say something, Pepe?
No.
No. Go ahead. No, I was
No,
done.
I was gonna say, but you're doing the biggest thing that a brand or anyone should do, just in general, is you're reaching out, to like the community. You're going to events, like you're putting yourself out there, and that's what it takes to make it in just any business or just whatever you're trying to do. And that's one thing I've seen you do, especially not even lately, like you just like like you just ran for it and you haven't stopped, and so like good for you, bro. Like that's super
Yeah.
sick.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, now for sure I always make sure you roll all my joints. Every time I'm around this guy, I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. Carlos.
I was
You're
gonna
a
say
legend.
too, the having you at events as well, like with Jetty. Jetty works with Coastal Sun for like flower events and stuff, and having Carlos there roll. How many did you roll last time? 102.
Yeah, it's a little over
Something like
100,
that.
something like that.
Yeah, and
Down in
so
Santa
just like the
Cruz.
community in like Santa Cruz, and at SF in Oakland. So yeah, dude, definitely what you do is it's a craft and it's not easy. So you've
And
earned your
he's-
stripes, if you will.
And he's fast, he's efficient, and while he's doing that, he's over there chopping it up with the people he's rolling up for. He's like, yeah, what would you like to try? While he's over there like, bam, bam, bam.
He's
Yeah, while he's
multitasking.
doing that, I'm getting a water. I'm like, bro, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
Yeah, and he's like, I'm good. He's like,
Water
he's
boy.
like, I'm just rolling.
It's just, just one of those things you kind of get in a vibe, you get in a flow state. Just like with any real like passion project that people like really seek out, you just kind of find your flow state. And you're
Yeah.
just grooving.
Yeah.
But you definitely found like what you wanted to do, and you definitely like have been perfecting your craft like ever since you were like, yo, I'm really gonna focus on this, and like you've just been killing it. You know.
Yeah, and I got again like it wasn't an easy road to being where I'm at right now. I've had many jobs leading up to this current one, but I'm definitely most proud of the fact that I was able to turn this dream into something that's actually paying my bills.
So full time. I mean, basically. I mean, excuse me if you said this in the beginning, but this is a full time thing that you do, right? You
Yep,
don't have
yep.
nothing else. No other
Right now,
income.
I'm 100% Team Dunks. I am available. I do still do freelance work for like events or
Mhm.
people who need small batch rolls done on the side.
So if you need any joints or anything like that in the industry, for real, go tap in with CannaBear right here. What's your Instagram handle?
It's a NorCal CannaBear,
And like for real, tap in with him. Like
or you can
legit,
shoot me an email at thenorcalcannabear@gmail.com.
tap in with him. He's like legit one of the best. There's a bunch of like great rollers out here, but he's legit one of the best and humblest rollers out here. You know,
I'm
so
okay.
definitely tap in. He's very humble with
Man,
it,
we're
but
gonna
like
have to
he
do a
has bars.
collaboration, bro.
Oh, for
No,
sure.
yeah.
The
Oh, yeah,
Firmelab,
me and
and
him-
you do like a oh you already
Oh
have-
yeah, me and him have been like.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day, me and this dude do like a cartoon or something. Cause me and would you roll up right here, my brother?
Some
Yeah.
of the sweet fruities. I don't even know which.
But this
strain.
is what like another fat ass hash one.
But then there's probably at least, I don't know, I'd say maybe close to a gram, maybe a little more. of hash in
Gram.
there.
Yeah. So you said that was
Fatty
what was
pop.
again the ratio?
So this ratio,
Yeah.
this is not the normal
No,
ratio.
no.
Yeah, this is a Firmelab exclusive. You know, from a little collaboration right now.
I mean,
with-
this is
with
a normal
CannaBear.
ratio for us.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
not a normal store ratio.
Which is okay. What's
But,
what's the
typically, it's about, I would say about 3-ish grams of flour,
eighth?
and then I would say around
dry hit?
a gram or so of some hash.
Yeah.
It was a nice fat one, maybe a little more than a gram. I think.
Yeah, that shit look. I got a video of it.
That
That
was a fat
motherfucker.
globber.
Yeah, that was a big globber. You
I
pulled
held it
that.
up to this camera, so
Yeah, that's why I was like,
that
show it to
style.
him. I'm like, this ain't joking.
Yeah, this yeah, you can really taste.
Yeah, terps. The terps.
What
Yeah.
rosin were you putting in there?
To be honest, I don't remember what that is.
Jar of.
It's just a
gas.
giant jar of.
Rosin.
that I have. I just been smoking on
Man,
it.
you're like you have so many. Pepe, you too, right? You do this for like
I don't know. I've retired, and I leave it to these young people.
He's a professional stuffer.
Yeah, I'm a stuffer, man.
He
I
doesn't
make
know
my
how to
own.
roll.
Yeah,
because you roll too, bro. You
So
like.
if I release, I will destroy this industry right here.
I like to give him shit. 'Cause he
No,
likes to,
Carlos
Ain't got to.
and Johnny over here, like some of like my best friends, like there's a few people that I hope they talk shit to me. Like that's what makes it fun. That's why earlier when he was stuttering, I was talking shit. But like it's that's my yeah.
You did it 5 seconds afterwards.
I know, and then I'm like, fuck, I can't talk either.
I wasn't gonna talk shit, but then it would have happened to me, bro. I'm like, no, they're gonna come.
Yeah. Nah, it's definitely all love. And, you know, it's always a lot of respect to all the rollers and shit that are actually doing it. Like Carlos and shit and his team over there that, like, you know, are making their dream a real career.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
shows that it's
John.
possible.
Give us a little background on you.
Well,
Yeah, like,
well,
yeah.
so like I said, I work with Jetty,
Yeah.
and I do brand ambassadorship and like visual marketing, field marketing, if you will.
Okay.
So like if you guys go to like a dispensary, you see some Jetty stuff in San Francisco, all the way down to Monterey. Hopefully it was me putting it there.
Oh, okay.
Putting
No,
in
I
the
do,
good word to the people.
Yeah. I remember getting into the industry in 2021, a little bit after like COVID and stuff. It's been a wild ride, you know, seeing how not only like vapes transform, but I
Yeah.
remember hearing about like the pre-rec days, like people would smoke J's in front of the shops apparently while they would wait in line.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
bro,
I remember
now-
that.
Now if I open up a
I
weed
miss the
jar, they're like
215 days.
slapping me in
Yeah.
the face, bro.
Really?
But
Yeah.
but no, I enjoy the industry. I really like the people
Yeah.
that I've met. I don't think there's been really a bad interaction with anybody, really. Maybe like customers and stuff, but bro,
Yeah,
it's
it's
retail, if you will. But
it's
honestly,
part
I
of it.
love the industry, the people, the homies that I've met. going to events. I think that's huge. Carlos, I'd see him at events, and Pepe as well. But that's like something that people ask, like, how do you get into the industry? How do you do this? Definitely go to events, shake some hands. Pepe kind of got me out of my shell too.
Yep.
It's difficult, to start talking to people, but once you do, it's kind of like, all right, bro, everyone's just chilling, smoking, doing their thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah,
That's for sure the best way to get into the industry is to network at events. There's no better way than just showing up and showing people what you can do.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when it's like-minded people in the same space. It's a little more comfortable to actually do things. The action behind whatever it is that you're doing, because it's not like not that you're worried about the criticism or anything like that, but it's more understanding, right? People are like, because you're in the same room and you want to do the same thing, you get more of that support versus hater shit, that happens when you go to places that there's a time and place for everything. That's what I'm trying to say. So
that's the cool thing about these events is at the end of the day, everybody has that one thing in common is the love for the flower.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Whether it's through flower, through extract, or through edibles, through however you consume it, we all have the love for the plant. So
it's an interesting looking plant too.
Yeah.
The flower itself, it's like, I'm pretty sure, like I said, once it goes fully legal, there's gonna be some like remember chia pet?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Weed,
I mean, they basically have stuff like that already.
Do they?
With like grow
Oh, hell
setups,
yeah.
like it's all plug and play. They'll send you the pods. You just set in the little thing and just let it do its own thing.
So it's easier now to grow. Weed, really? Okay.
If you got a little extra money on the side, you can have it automated tomorrow.
Yeah,
They have
I've,
like the whole little setups. They're not even that expensive.
You
I've-
don't
I've-
even need that big of a space either, too.
go ahead.
Sorry, before
No,
you,
you're good.
remember we were talking about the terp ring in the back? You see it in the front now. Like, turn it the other way. You see it? The ring? No, right here.
Where on the?
No, on the side.
Remember how you were
saying-
yeah.
So now,
You see how the paper's getting wet around the top?
so now that's a terp ring. Remember how you were saying that usually it like gets on your hand?
So that rosin used to get all in your lips when you use
Yeah.
your crutches or the no crutch filter.
And it gets on the glass tip too. It makes it all like sticky on the inside. But see that's the terp ring. That's what you were talking. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, it's good, man. This is I mean, this is all stuff that, again, it's part of the experience. To just look at it and see the actual result of using that whatever product you're using on it. So
And
it's cool.
again, I don't know why it counts as a qualifier or a sign of like a
It
good
being
roll.
good, yeah.
But a lot of people see like a nice, thick, juicy ring as like a sign of it being a good quality roll.
Yeah.
And good flour.
At the end of the day, I think you can kind of manipulate the terp ring just like you can manipulate ash color
It's a
too.
science, yeah.
So it's one of those things that like it's not necessarily everything, but it is something.
No, that's dope, man. Again, that's a whole science. I'm learning a lot.
you were saying, I remember at one of the events, it's, damn, what was that?
You good?
You were saying how it was a waste, or not waste, but it would be best to use really good flour with rosin or like your hash holes. Because it's just like,
Go for it, Carlos.
So with hash holes, you definitely don't want to use like your top tier hash because that's meant for dabbing. You want to appreciate that. You want to use like there's food grade hash, and then there's like a step above food grade hash that I would say is like the starting point for a decent hash hole. And then there's obviously like higher and higher tiers, but I personally would feel like I'm disrespecting a hash maker if I'm putting some tier 1 hash into a hash hole.
Yeah.
Just because I know the time and effort that got spent to actually extract that down to like its purest, most terpy form that you're ever gonna get.
Yeah, to dial that
To
in.
throw
and
that
craft.
just in some flour roll is
That
kind
is
of like disrespectful in my eyes. But there is more of that, like I would say, more like production grade kind of hash
Okay.
that I feel super comfortable. Just like I would say, it's that hash that you can get for in the stores for like $20 to $30 a
Okay.
gram. You're not gonna be putting your
That's-
$80, 60, 70, $80 grams in
okay,
a
that's
hash
good to
hole.
know.
Because rosin
Yeah.
gets expensive.
Yeah.
Well, no,
rosin's
yeah,
expensive
it's like
quality.
that adds up too when you're it's great.
I
to
mean,
sort
you
of-
can if you got it like that, go
Yeah,
do it.
but-
But like again, at the end of the day, I feel like that's disrespecting the
It's not
artistic
meant
side
for
of the
that.
hash maker.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not meant for that.
It's
That's
not
meant
meant
to,
for
like
that.
you're
Exactly.
saying, to dab out.
So there's different levels of hash that you wanna use.
Is
and
that
you
it's,
don't want to use.
is that not marketed?
Not necessarily.
I mean,
It's
that's
all,
interesting.
and again, it's all opinion based too, and like pocket based.
Yeah,
If
it's-
you got it like
Oh,
that,
that's true. That's true. Like
if you
the
got
way,
it like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
then I'm not
But
gonna
you're
follow
being more
you.
thoughtful of
But
the
then
actual
I'm also
everything.
thinking of more like, because
Yeah,
hash is also an art form. Like
yeah.
there's some
yeah.
motherfuckers
Well,
out there
yeah,
who
it's-
have taken hash to a whole nother level.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Like,
concentrate market is so like heady, like it's its own like it. There's flour, and then there's like dabs, and then there's like the connoisseur of dabs that are like super headies that have like the best glass to like make sure they get every ounce and drop out of the crazy
everything.
quality rosin
Wow.
that they're.
Well, yeah, if
getting.
you're if it's that if it's on the higher end, I mean, same thing with again goes back to wine, right? Wine is
Exactly.
like,
It's like you're not gonna drink $100 bottle of wine out of a styrofoam cup.
no, and then
Right.
one gulp. You know?
Right, yeah.
It's funny
Or
when I
like
drink
chug
wine.
a bottle, yeah.
I'm drinking wine with
Fucking-
people,
Yeah.
and they're like, damn, man, it's like you're supposed to take your time with that, you
Yeah.
know? It's like
Supposed to be like,
enjoy
enjoy
it, taste
it,
the grapes,
Taste the
and-
different nuances.
Yeah,
Spend your
but-
time with it, get to know it.
yeah.
Not just some like little cheap date, you know.
Yeah. So what so what do you vision yourself besides, of course, making that the professional hand rolling your main thing, your career, or per se the thing that brings you in the biggest income? But what is your actual vision? Like if you made let's say you're already we're at that position. Do you have a bigger vision? Not that it's bigger, but do you have a vision past that? Like, what would be your ultimate goal in all of this?
Ultimately, I am trying to turn this into like a little bit of a brand. As weird as it sounds,
No,
trying
no,
to say
yeah.
like I have a brand or I am a brand or whatever, but
My
I
brother,
am.
you
at
are
the
a
end of the
brand.
day.
Yeah,
You've
you're
been
a
a
brand.
brand. You know, I know
So-
you don't really see it as
And-
that, but you've been a established and are a well-known roller and a brand. I don't care what you say. I'm gonna say it. You know, stamped. I approve.
Well known
I don't
is
care what
a
you say.
little lofty, but I'm kind of known.
Nah, you're not. You're known. Everyone knows. You know. Yeah, don't be tough.
But
on
yeah,
yourself.
I'm also just super humble about everything.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
At the end of the
Humble
day,
bear.
like anybody who really commits the time and effort to learn how to roll can roll.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people who don't even have hands roll a joint. So it's like,
Damn.
if you have the will and the drive to learn how to roll, you can roll.
Mhm.
So it's not like
Much
some
practice.
crazy skill that like only one in a million kind of do.
Yeah.
It's literally anybody can do it if they want to do it. But you have to have the passion to really want to do it and do it well. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like I just have that passion to just just provide quality roles for people.
Yeah, it's a service.
It's a service, but it's also kind of therapeutic and somewhat
Yeah.
meditative to me. Like you just, like I said, you get in your flow state, kind of just get in the zone, just throw on some music, roll, twist up a couple hundred joints type of shit. Like it just, you just get locked in, and it just you lose track of time, or it's just one of the things.
It's
like,
meditation, man.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
that's the way I've always kind of
Yeah.
like explained it to people. It's like it's just kind of a meditative way of just like spending my time.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to provide something that people enjoy, that's just a bonus.
You're
Yeah.
And the
creating
fact
the
that-
vessel for them to get their medicine, basically.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm getting paid to do it,
Yeah.
it blows my mind.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
like
That-
to
like,
be able to, like when people ask me what I do for a job, I kind of laugh to myself like, well, I roll joints professionally. Like I get paid to roll joints, which is like, who would have thought that would have been like
yeah.
a possible career? And like it's a pretty thriving market right now too.
Yeah, it's gonna
like it's
yeah,
growing.
It's gonna get bigger, yeah.
And so I'm working on kind of building, like I said, back to the whole overall vision is I am trying to work into building this into like either whether it's like a rolling service that I can provide, like whether I have like a team of my own rollers that
Yeah.
kind of roll to my standards, much like what Bruno and CGO are doing right now. They got
Okay.
their own little team, and they're like their crew that they work with to help them produce the rolls that they need to produce for the brands that they're working with. And so it'd be nice to like one day have like my little team of like rollers that are rolling under like the CannaBear brand.
Yeah, yeah.
And also I would like to obviously expand into like some merch, some like rolling accessories, stuff like that. That's always
Yeah,
some
okay.
like some stuff that
just
some
brand
people
Papers
Yeah, of course.
and grinders.
some
and-
people like who support the brand. They can have little mementos type of shit.
Okay.
Like I've been fucking around the idea of maybe doing little CannaBear action figures.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
super
dope.
sick.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that'd
dope.
be kind of
Definitely.
cool. Like just because I mean
I mean, the
nothing
technology's there
crazy.
already. Well, the
Yeah.
technology's there that it's easy for you to do something like that nowadays. So it's like, yeah, and people love that. I mean, just because, and I'm sure with you because you're already creating that service, it's just the relation to. I like that because I got a good roll, I got high, I had a good time. So you create this not just a brand, but a brand that it's a lifestyle type of thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Lifestyle type of brand.
And that's also, I mean, not going to claim to be an original idea of trying to turn my
Yeah,
brand
man.
into a lifestyle kind of thing, but that tends to be like the general vibe in
Yeah.
the industry is people want to turn it into something more than just a cannabis
Yeah, yeah.
thing, something that can make me money outside of cannabis as well potentially. If, like I said, if I develop that following that really fucks with me and like
Yeah.
really wants to support what I'm doing, then they'll buy the merch
The
that
merch,
I put
yeah.
together. But again, that's all in the future. Like things come at the proper time. Can't rush nothing.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
I want it to be right. I don't want to just put shit out just to put shit out, and then
Yeah.
to have a bunch of garbage that nobody really wants. Like if I'm gonna put something out, I want it to be quality, and then there to be an actual demand for it too.
Yeah.
So that I'm not wasting my time and just putting out just a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, well, it's the same thing with like you were saying, the from rolling to the merch to the different elements that you have, that they have to be up to par to the quality of what everything has to be at that level,
Exactly.
right? Like,
yeah.
because if not, then
Don't want to be cutting corners anywhere
Yeah.
because then that just looks negatively on
Yeah, that happens
your
a lot,
overall brand. And, I mean, if that's what you're trying to do, that's what you're trying to do. Just make a quick buck
Yeah.
or whatever. But I mean, that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm in it for the long game.
yeah,
So I'm here to do things at the right pace, so that one, it doesn't overwhelm me, and two, I don't do it cheaply and
Yeah.
poorly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
True,
I said,
very true,
if I'm gonna do it, I want to make sure it's done right.
yeah,
And so that everybody's getting a quality product that I put out. And
yeah.
that's the ultimate goal.
That's dope, man. It's dope.
I was gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, are you going to do a role for Hashwell Island?
I was definitely thinking about entering that competition. Yes.
Yeah.
They're doing the competition down there. I was planning on curating some flavors and throwing in an entry. See how I stack up against all
Yeah.
the other rollers out there. 'Cause there's a lot of good talent out there, and
Sorry
It's,
to ask, but what day was Hashwell Island again?
May.
I believe it's May 17th.
May 17th.
Yeah.
May
Was
17th.
there like like I know how there's 420, there's 710, there's 11:30. Was it like a specific day?
I don't think so. It's
Yeah, I
just,
think
I think
Hashwell
that's
Island,
just it's just like a summertime
Okay.
summertime event for
It's
Hashwell
just an
Island.
island
Take
vibe.
the day off, dude. You've been telling me for like 3 months.
Yeah,
Wow.
because they're lit. Shout out to CGO, bro, because he be throwing the littest events. Hashwell Island, National Hashwell Day.
When is that? Hashwell Island.
Hashwell Island
It's
is
gonna be May 17th.
May
And
17th.
that's gonna be over in
Iselton.
Isleton, yeah, on Paradise Island.
Is that
Okay.
right?
This dope little island that he rents out for the event.
And there's like
Oh,
a Ferris
it's like
wheel, the
hundreds
bunch
of
of vendors.
vendors.
Where's this at?
Out in Isleton, it's like in between.
It's like passing Oakley, like
Oh,
40
okay.
minutes from
yeah,
Oakley. And yeah,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
it's like
Really?
But
passing out
it's
there,
it's
Yeah.
just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, super dope, and like it's literally on a
In the
little
Delta,
island.
right? That's
Yeah.
what they call it.
In the Delta.
Yeah,
Oh,
on
okay.
the Delta. Yep.
Okay, so it must be out
It's
there.
like out in the cuts. It's
Yeah,
it's
well,
super
And I think
nice.
this
so
year
it's
he's
a
kind
vibe.
of going with like a more
Yeah.
carnival vibe. He's gonna have all kinds of cool shit out there this year. Tons of vendors, tons of hashels, obviously.
Yeah.
There's flour, there's
Glass
extra,
So there's May
Shout out to
16th?
Al
blowers,
Burndro.
all kinds of entertainment. He's got live music,
Yeah.
live performers,
Bunch of
everything.
artists and stuff. Food.
It's always a dope time.
Yeah. It's dope.
And then the homie Idle Hand rolls. He's a roller for CGO. He's gonna be celebrating his birthday that night too.
Okay.
At the after party on the island. So that's gonna be like an extra little thing after the event.
That's dope,
So
man.
it's gonna be a pretty good time.
Okay, I mean, I live out, towards that way anyway, so it's like, so wait, like, can anyone go to it? Or?
Oh yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
whole
It's
full out
yeah,
festival.
Yeah, it's on Eventbrite right now. So
Okay,
if you just go on Eventbrite, look up Hasho Island.
okay,
It should be hosted by CGO Entertainment or something like
Okay.
that.
I'll send you
yeah.
the thing.
yeah.
It's
Are you
like-
going to it?
Yeah. Yeah, we always go.
But yeah, we always support the
Yeah.
homie CGO.
Yeah, always got to support. Shout out CGO. We've had some fun adventures with him. Especially here with Carlos.
Mhm. But yeah,
Um,
he's definitely been a great mentor in the rolling game for sure. And
humble people too.
yeah,
And he be doing big moves, and he just be out there rolling with his people, just smoking out with the people, and just making good things for the community. Like 11:30, that wasn't a thing.
yep.
Yeah,
that was-
National Hash Hole Day.
11:30.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing I was telling you when you add 420 and 710,
Yeah, okay,
right?
yes, right,
Yeah,
that's
there
right.
you go.
You get 11:30, which happens to be November 30th. So now on November 30th, there's a National Hash Hole Day event that he'll host. Yeah, you can actually. You know I don't trip.
But okay, so you just have to let it fall out on its own then. Like you don't want to do that though, right?
When
Yeah,
you're
typically when like you don't want to ash it, you want to just let it
Yeah,
naturally
just
fall off like
naturally.
during the pass or during the inhale or whatever. But again, a lot of people like to see the actual visual of the hash hole. They're also called donuts
cool,
because it
yeah.
makes that little circle, and so that's where the name comes from. Because as the hash melts, it just creates that little hole in the
yeah.
middle.
That's exciting, man. It's like smoking something like this. It's like I can see how you're like smoking it, especially if you're stoned and you're like just.
Right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I get lost.
yeah.
I'll get lost staring at the rosin.
And the oil
It's just
rig.
like
It's like,
bubbling
yeah.
and vaporizing.
I mean,
like,
especially if
yeah.
you're outside, the sun's like hitting it at the same time.
If you
and
get that right angle,
yeah,
oh my God, yeah.
it's just fun. I mean, come
The
on, let's
smoke
keep it
coming
real.
Yeah.
out, yeah, it's
And at the end of the day,
beautiful.
it's just another fun way of smoking.
Yeah. What's your second most way of smoking flower?
So right now, I almost am like strictly joints. I used to be really big on pipes, like dry pipes and bongs.
Yeah.
But ever since COVID, I got COVID real bad.
Yeah.
Back when
That
that
was
first
something, yeah.
lockdown. Ever since then, my lungs have never really been the same, and so I can't take a big ass bong hit like I used to anymore. And so I've found that like smoking joints, I'm able to control the size of the hit that I'm taking a lot better than if
It's
I'm
a smoother
smoking through a
draw.
bong.
You know what?
And so I'm not coughing my head off all crazy anymore, type of thing. Like I miss my bong. I used to rip that. I used to rip like full gram bowls in one hit. Just fucking kill the fuck.
yeah.
Like I loved my bong. That was my go-to.
but
But
you,
then COVID got me, and I was like, all right, looks like I'm a joint man.
well, I think I didn't think about that, but I feel like now too. I have bongs, but when I hit the bong, I just even with certain concentrates, I start coughing easier than I did in the past, because I've always been smoking. But I also got sick for COVID when it first came out. So I'm like, shit, is it something that
Well,
damaged your the lungs or
well,
something?
supposedly,
Right.
when you get it, it leaves scars for like a couple years. Like I got it too before they even said it was COVID, and I was all messed up. But the doctors and scientists said that you're gonna have scarring for like a couple years because that's how severe the virus,
Damn.
the effects are on our on our.
Okay,
our
yeah,
lungs.
because I feel like now it's like, come on, man, you used to be able to
Same with
fucking
me.
hit it a little
Yeah.
harder.
Right.
Now I'm like, sometimes I'm here like because we smoke so much. I'm like, I need my inhaler, man, because I'm
No,
like,
what was the homie the other day? He had two, remember?
I'm
He's like,
I'm
I
glad
got
I saw
two.
that because I'm like, okay, I feel more comfortable busting mine out because I'm not gonna lie.
No, do your thing.
I'm like, no, sometimes it's just, especially when we're like hotboxing it and everything, right?
Yeah, that one day that we hotboxed it with Mike, like this is
Remember
bad.
when Johnny was chippy? He's like,
Oh,
bro, I
yeah,
can't
it
get
was-
your window down.
And the worst part was he had the child lock on.
Oh, yeah, the child
I
lock.
was so down, so I couldn't figure out how to
We
disable
were
it.
just fucking laughing, bro.
Felt
That
like
shit was
Weezy
funny as
from
fuck.
Toy Story Road.
He's all panicking in the back. We hotbox this
He's
shit
like,
out
yo.
of the car.
I was gonna say, Easy, do you even before COVID and everything, did you use rosin or did you use resin or what? What was your concentrate?
Shatter.
Shatter.
Yeah.
So okay, so like, I mean, like it has some sort of like solvent in it, but definitely I feel like if it does have like solvents in it, it's a little bit harsher. But
Okay.
depending on what like brand it is and everything, bro, to smooth it like a Bear Labs. Bear Labs is like
Bear Labs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
you
good-
love
good
Bear
lab.
Labs. That's a
Yeah,
good
Okay,
brand.
no,
Shout
no,
out
this is good
Bear
to know
Labs.
because I don't know. You go to,
Yeah.
you ask, but they're like, this one right here, and you're like, and they're like, I don't mind it, but it's like, okay, if you're gonna sell me something that's like $80, $100, well, what's so special about it?
Right.
Yeah,
Can you break it down for me? Like, well, no, it's just a
And
better.
most of the time they can't.
Well,
They're
no,
like,
they
"Oh,
say
it's
better
expensive,
quality.
It's good, yeah.
Well, yeah, no shit.
break
It's
that
like
down,
$80. You know, I'm expecting compared to $10 that you guys have on the shelves. Like, what's the difference?
Right.
Like,
So like
Can you-
that's where my job comes into play, where I have to train the like bud tenders. But basically, like a lot goes into it, from the factory
Yeah.
or like the lab or whatever to like the process, how much flour they use, how much like hands-on stuff they have to use. But definitely, what's out there is out there. Whatever you like to get you high gets you fucking high, whatever
Yeah.
it is. But some people like organic. There's some
Yeah.
brands that do, like Jetty does like the specific
yeah.
organic stuff. I know like Pistol Whip has that as well, like the organic seal of approval called OCal. There's a lot of brands that do that. But no, I mean, whatever rosin hits, bro. I'm a fan of rosin. I do like my resins too. Like I
Yeah.
said, Bear Labs is a good
I like resins too. There's nothing wrong
Resins?
with
resin
the
is
resin.
definitely
You know
super
what I mean?
tasty.
Like,
bro.
yeah, super
tasty.
terpy. Like, I like me a nice like terp sauce. Always fire.
It's just a little messy with the fucking hot knife. That's the
Yeah.
only thing. But it does smack. It tastes good. It gets you baked.
like, what is it? Earl Hill. They do a.
I've not
they do,
had those fools. but
no, they do some
good.
fire live resin concentrate, and they do some fire live resin disposables. and
Okay.
Stuff. Yeah. So super good quality, and I know them. I know they're standard on what it is. When done right, everything could be good, but it just has to be done right.
yeah.
Shout out Earl Hill. I know they're doing their shit right, and I've tasted it myself. I go out to buy it and shit. Super fire. Live resin's fire, rosin's fire.
Yeah.
You
Well, it's just now that I'm starting to venture out to what I shatter because it was popularized back in when the
Yeah, that's what the
2010,
standard
20
was back in the day.
So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna smoke this.
So
But,
it's like everybody's introduction to extracts, more or less.
yeah, that's what I feel
That
like.
or
Right?
like the Rick Simpson oil. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Rick
RSO,
Simpson
that's-
oil.
Now, do you guys
Isn't
remember?
that what it was?
Yeah, RSO.
Right? RSO?
I don't know. Yeah, see. I
So
didn't-
RSO is just a different version of the concentrate cannabinoid. That's more like medicinal, like CBN, RSO,
Okay.
but it'll get you fucking lit.
Lit? Oh.
But it has more medicinal benefits. too.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
RSO. Rick Simpson oil. That's what
Rick
it's
Simpson
called.
oil. It's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
And like that one, like you can't dab. You can't really dab that one.
You
It-
oh,
there's-
I don't think it'll be good.
I think
I
that
don't
one's
think
more
that
of an
one-
edible.
Yeah, that one you ingest.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
more
Mm.
for eating.
Yeah.
Or,
You be ingesting the Dablicator, huh?
yeah, the dab because it's technically, I don't know how to say it. It's decarboxylated. That's
Yeah,
you said it,
yeah.
decarbed.
Yeah, decarb.
But
yeah.
you can eat it. I tell people if they
Put
want
it
to
on their
get super
food.
baked, get like a bowl of yogurt. Just dip that.
Damn, like honey. Damn, that's fine.
Yeah, so again, that's the only thing. Also, too, edibles are the ones that also get me. You
On the
know,
next one.
but I was saying like that. You know, edibles is the only ones that I can really overdo it.
Oh,
that's
I
nice.
can't fuck with edibles. 'cause
Yeah, yeah.
You guys
If
ever
it
do
tastes too good, I'm not stopping. And then I'm fucked. And that's actually one thing. One of my first jobs was actually making edibles for a dispensary back in the 215
Okay.
era. I'd make like brownies, cupcakes, muffins, all kinds of shit for this kind of
Okay.
one spot. I don't want to say just
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
case.
yeah,
you know.
yeah. No, you
Wh-
get.
But
My bad. What were you saying over there, John?
Oh no, I didn't mean to. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
The drinks, if you guys were fans.
The edible drinks?
Oh, the
edible
drinks.
like-
Yeah, those are fine. I
It's
had
like,
I passed by some Pancho the other day and they had a 100 milligram shot. Some vendor that was there. I'm like, that ain't shit. I'll take that shit right now.
What brand was it?
I don't remember Atomic something. Some new brand. I don't,
Okay.
but they got them there. It was good. It
Yeah.
was like $10.
I've had it only once, and it was like I really didn't get like lit.
Yeah.
But again, it was something random. I think I got it for free with whatever I
Okay,
purchased.
You gotta get
Yeah.
the ones that I'm a huge fan of, like the St. Ides.
yes,
Saint
Saint
Yeah, you're the
Ives.
second person that brought that up.
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Arizona
That's
iced
no
tea,
one-
but
Yeah.
infused.
Shout out
Like
no
those are
one.
so
Yeah,
good.
There
St.
was,
Ides.
They go down so easy.
Yeah.
Too easy.
I
Too
like
easy.
the Uncle Ernie's. I like the shots,
you
the
like the
100
Ernie's.
milligram shots. Those are fire.
And there's another company, High Power. They do good.
Oh yeah,
Good
shout
job.
out the homie. What's his
Yeah,
name?
Canna Carlos.
Canna
Yeah.
Carlos. Shout out the
That's
homie
chill.
Canna Carlos, man. High power. They got some fire syrup and fire shots
Yeah.
too. Those are really good.
Got that one right?
Yeah, they have. I
Horchata.
think those are 250 too, or I'm tripping.
I forget.
No,
Oh,
they're
no.
500 and each one is like 250. No, yeah. Either way, they're like.
I don't know,
super.
but we'll
High
get some
doses
and we'll
are
try it.
good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah. Those are good. No, those are super fire. Shout out to Canna Carlos.
Yeah, see, it's all these different ways to do, but the drinks, yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. When I do tinctures, it's a little different. When I do the drops, it's
Yeah,
different. When
those
I
are
eat it, when I eat it, for some reason, it's just every time. I have to slowly climb up. When I'm eating it. Like at first, if I haven't done it for a while, I have to do it by just a 10 or maybe 15. But after that, I could keep pushing it. But again, it's like you could easily overdo it. And like you said,
Oh,
if it tastes
easily,
good
whatever.
and then once you're high and you're
Yep.
just eating this shit and you forget that
'Cause
you're
you get
snacking
that
on this.
cycle of like, oh man,
Yeah,
I'm hungry
man,
again. Oh,
and
this
then-
is hella good.
Ooh,
Oh,
a
more
snack.
of this.
and then
Oh,
mix it
man,
on
I'm-
hinge, you're like,
Just in that vicious
Fuck.
cycle.
yeah. So, but yeah, we got the homie. We got Mike in La Casa. He just came in. Pero yeah, man, this is very impressive. I like how it does the donut. Now I can see a little more. So,
Right, yeah.
So
Made a little thicker worm on this one.
yeah,
See, man.
but
And you notice how like how it burns a lot slower too.
yeah,
Because the hash is melting into the flour.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's more of a smolder rather than a burn.
Smolder. There you go.
yeah. Because I didn't see that in the beginning. It was there, the dot, but now that I see it's like burning more, you can actually see the
Yeah,
actual
the
donut.
full circle.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Well, shit, man. It was a good conversation, man. I had a good
Yeah,
time,
it was a nice chat with you.
chatting with you, and also too, just the experience and the knowledge behind just how what it takes to be a
Learn what
professional
hash
hair
roller
roller,
is.
and then just the different products that goes into it, and the tools and everything, man. So, yeah, man. We come to that hour, bro. But again, thank you for carving some time out to come down and chat with us. We definitely gonna have you back again.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Well, we're gonna set it
Anytime.
up and have I still, because I'm sure like this is just the beginning of
Right.
whatever we we didn't even get through the whole thing. I mean, but yeah. Is there any plugins or do you have any
I was
plugins?
gonna say you're gonna be rolling where on 420?
So I'll actually be at Rooted on the 18th, rolling for the Tokeland Seniors in Coastal Sun, and then on 420 I'll be over at Mo Green's, be in the lounge just rolling up for all the people there.
Okay.
And Rooted, that's over there in Oakland, right?
Yep, that's
Hell
gonna be
yeah,
over in Oakland.
they have a very, very, very
In Oakland, what's
nice
it?
consumption lounge over there.
What is it called?
Rooted,
Fight
Rooted.
Time.
Okay.
ROOTED.
Okay.
Apostrophe
Yeah,
E.
I'm probably gonna slide. So if you want to tag along, like
Yeah,
that,
you guys
that
should
place
come
is that place
Okay.
is super sick, and they're super cool people too. You
Yeah,
know?
one of the brands that I roll for every now and again, Coastal Sun, they're having me back out to they do this event with the Tokeland Seniors,
Okay.
where they just basically do like a charity roll event. Just roll up hella flower rolls for them to just stress out at.
Okay. Cool.
So,
Yeah. Hell
yeah.
yeah, man. So, all right. Trying to make it out there, man.
Yeah.
But cool.
And then Mo Green's on 420. I'll
Yeah,
be there.
420. yeah.
Shout out Mo Green. Shout out Rooted. Hell yeah. Anything else you want to talk about or
Any
plug in
plug-in?
right quick?
Just my Instagram, NorCal CannaBear.
And
you
then
hit
you
me
got
up
the other
there,
one.
or you can shoot me an email at thenorcalcannabear@gmail.com if you want to get in contact about doing some work. I got another page, CannaBear Rolls, but it's not so popping at the moment, but we'll get that one going.
Okay.
But yeah, just NorCal CannaBear right now, if you can follow that one.
So if you
Okay.
Best
need,
way to get in contact.
so if you need any pre-rolls done professionally, super fast and efficient, and with amazing service, man,
There
tap
you
in
go.
with
Tap
Carlos,
in,
bro.
Carlos,
Tap in
man,
with
the
CannaBear.
CannaBear.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Right on, bro. Well, again, man, I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And
Thank you, my brother.
yeah, very impressed, bro. So,
Appreciate it.
right. Get on
Hey,
that.
man.
Get on
Hey,
that.
man. Hey,
What's good?
good to see you, brother. Hey, man. Love you guys. But we celebrating Easy's birthday, bro. So I'm glad
shit.
you're here. I hope you like horchata cake. Do you like horchata cake? Have you ever
Do I
tried
look
it?
like I don't like
My bro, son, my bro.
Hey, man. Happy
God,
birthday.
thank you,
Easy,
bro.
bro.
Oh, man.
Happy
Damn,
birthday, bro.
man.
We love Pepe, man. We wanted to
shit.
celebrate you on behalf of the BQM family.
Oh, let me
Everything that you do. This ain't a blunt right there. We got those. You got it. But bro, we just want to appreciate you for everything that you do for us, for
Yeah,
the team,
bro,
with the merch, with the platform, allowing us to promote all the artists and all the good people that are out here doing work, bro. So
Right on,
want to
man.
wish you a happy birthday. Your birthday is on Tuesday, but we're gonna be in Colorado.
Yeah,
So
damn,
we
man. I'm
wanted
like,
to- we got the whole team here. We got
I'm
the
like-
family here. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man.
I don't know if we want to sing happy birthday for Easy. You guys want to help me out? Hey, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Easy. Firmelab Radio, baby. Happy birthday to you. We love you, brother.
Man,
We
right
love
on,
you,
bro. I
brother.
appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah,
Damn, man. Well, we
Oh,
can
block
tear
the
up over
cameras,
here.
bro.
Shit.
Make your wish.
Right on, bros. I really appreciate
Hell
this,
yeah.
man.
Happy
Right
early
on,
birthday,
man.
my
Right
brother.
on, bro. Right
Hell
on,
yeah,
man.
love
Right
you,
on.
broski. You already know.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys, man. This is awesome. Man, you guys got me off guard.
Just know we all appreciate you,
Man,
bro.
I feel-
You know
I
you're
feel
a
very
real one.
touched.
Cut it up and serve y'all
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick, man.
I feel
Don't
very
mind me.
touched, bro. Man, I feel really
little
touched right
break.
now, man. That's
Nah, I love my brother. You
yeah,
already
man.
know. Hell yeah.
Shit, I'm like speechless right now. Let's get into some music though. But
He's like, perfect time for the break.
but
He's
yeah.
like, oh, see, we got hit
I'm
stuck
like
though.
fumbling, you know. No, I got you, I
Hey,
got you.
man, happy early birthday, my brother.
No, I really appreciate it. You know, it's nice to be with brothers that show love, man, and that's the important part.
And you're
In
going
all
out
this.
to Colorado for when you get
Yeah.
to your birthday. You'll be out there for 420, smoking up. Hell yeah,
Yes,
celebrate. It's gonna be sick as fuck.
But right on, I appreciate it. So we'll be back, man, when we hear. I'm not trying to cheer up, but I'll be back.
Yo, some man can go and talk. A little maga boy I come down the millennium. Make a child in a day, but she want to eat me starter. Then she have the nerve say, "Walk, come check me back." She crack. Anytime me tell a girl say pop, skirt, blouse, shoes, rap, clap. So me have a girl a TikTok. Grandma come in and come catch me she shot. She can't believe her heart grand pick me that. Hey, better than that. So the girl hear me on the radio, see me on the telly. Ring off me celly. One bag of girl walk and rub down me belly. Anthony, Kelly, Susie, Shelly. Hear me on the radio, see me on the telly. Ring off me celly. Yes, which girl walk and rub